compassionate, friendly. Those definitely are not words I usually associated with divorce. But there is a new book that's just been released. It's written by a Cook County family court judge, and it lays out a way to have a non-bitter divorce. The name of the book is The Good Karma Divorce. Now, full disclosure, the author is Judge Michele Lowrance. She and I have been friends for many, many years. But our friendship is not the reason that you're on today. I think this is a book that everybody who contemplates divorce needs to read, because it's a whole different way of looking at divorce. It doesn't have to be awful.
Well, it's a new way of contemplating divorce, because the old way of doing it apparently has hurt a lot of people in its wake. 51% of all children of divorce never want to get married or have children, and it's a 50% divorce rate. When you do the numbers, it is staggering.
That's pretty scary. Tell me the story of why you decided that you were going to write this book.
Sometimes I talk to children in custody cases, and they come into my chambers. There was a little boy who came into my chambers. He was about 10 years old, and in this big chair, in this cold, steely environment, he looked maybe about 3 years old. And he said to me, you know, maybe if I was dead, my parents would stop fighting, because they always seem to be fighting about me. And maybe if I wasn't around, they could be happy.
That breaks your heart.
It broke my heart, and at that moment, I decided that there was a piece of him in every child going through divorce. What I have found out in my travels of writing this book is it's not just the conflicted divorces. Sometimes the parents in amicable divorces don't have the upgraded skills.
Okay, so let's go to one of the main points you make in this book is about what you call heroic parenting. What do you mean by that?
I mean, conventional wisdom about parenting is not enough. That you need to learn skills. How would anybody know how to parent in adversity, how to parent in crisis? Where do we learn that? We barely learn how to parent to begin with, let alone the difficulties of this. You need to know that if you malign the other person, you have interrupted the child's ability to feel safe in the world, because they have to spend time with that person you're maligning, and they don't feel comfortable about it.
And it hurts your child if you somehow teach your child not to love that other parent, the person you're divorcing, right?
Parents will see that as a victory, and yet they've destroyed their child. If you ask a parent, would you do anything to protect your children? What if your child was going to have their leg amputated? Would you go across the country? But what if I told you you were doing it?
Yeah.
Would you do the heroic parenting it takes to stop?
And you need to. Okay, real quick, there are three other things we want to cover very quickly that are important in this book. And you talk about emotional justice. People go to court thinking that I'm going to get justice for my emotions here, for my hurt.
One of the problems and the misnomers and the myths that people believe is that the court ultimately will deliver emotional justice. The courts were never meant to do that. They are not built to do that. We deal with the law, nothing more. When you give up your case to us to resolve, when you put yourself in our hands, you've given up complete control over your life. Better to take the skills to learn how to keep it.
Forgiveness, compromise, those are tough things for people in a divorce.
Maybe forgiveness is the single greatest way to manage the injustices of life. Maybe you want to bring your spouse to their knees, but it is not our job to do that. Life will take care of that. You think that you can compartmentalize anger? You can't. It leaks into your relationships with everybody else.
Okay, and then finally, write a personal manifesto.
That's the first thing that I think you should do. It's a written statement that says what your goals are, how you want your children to view you, how you want to take care of your children, and how you want your future to be. So that when you forget your goals, when you're slammed with emotions, you can refer back to it as a mantra to remember the track that you want your life to be on.
Some amazing advice in this book, I have to say, and after knowing you all these years, I didn't realize you had this good a book in use, but it was
I didn't either.
Yeah, right, but it's come out. And to let everybody know that Judge Lowrance is going to be at a book signing that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. It will be at the Borders store on North Michigan Avenue. That's 830 North Michigan Avenue. Also, if you'd like more information, you call the number there on your screen, 312-573-0564, or go to our website. That's at abc7chicago.com. Michele, thanks.
Thank you very much.